Welcome to Metal Wani, Vitek here with Blake Allison of Devour the Day. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You must, be really excited that the second phase of Devour the Day will be out on April 1st. Very exciting time for the band. So how's the feeling within the camp?
We're super excited. We just did a video for our lead single, "Lightning in the
Lighting in the
Sky,"
right.
and yeah, and this is the first time that this band has gotten together to do any kind of footage on a professional level. But the last video that we did, we did a practice room GoPro video for the song "Good Man,"
Hmm.
and it's got like I think it's got like almost 3 million views now, and that was amazing. But this is the first time that we've been able to do something, with a studio, and we set up for a music video, and the cameraman is all in our face and everything. It was pretty cool, man. We had a great time. So we're excited for it to come out.
That's awesome, man. Good to hear that. And this title, what exactly does it mean? Is there a full form of this, or it has a certain meaning behind?
The song is an acronym for "Suffer, Overcome, and Recover,"
Ah, there
which
we
is
go.
yeah. It's a testament to the struggles. For us, we have all these things in our lives that for Joey and I's personal in our personal lives that are painful, and they really they're very difficult on us,
Right.
and the process of not only going through that, but also coming out and being better off,
Right.
basically we like to say that it's the process of enduring something and then thriving through it. And we we've been through a lot as a group and as a team, and um, we've had to make a lot of sacrifices to get where we are, and we're strong people because of it. And and that song is about that process, and it's a celebration of the people that we've become.
Awesome, man. That's good to hear. And obviously, with an album like Soul, which is a powerful one, I mean, I could witness, the moment I was listening to it, I could feel that fans are going to scream loudly when you guys play these tracks live. And it's easy to say that these are gonna, down the road, these are gonna become the live anthems for your fans.
Yes, we really feel that song in particular has responded very well with our fans at the live show, which is a big thing for us because we spend all this time in the studio and all this time in rehearsal getting ready, and to go out and to have great shows like the ones we're having where
Hmm.
I mean the song was just released, and last year when we were on tour, people were already they already knew the words to it. They knew how the song went because they had done some YouTube research or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's cool to see that there's a connection between us and the audience before the music was even released. That's awesome.
Absolutely, and you will agree with this point that the Soma 4 album is something that can make or break an artist. I mean, some bands definitely pull through with great album, keeping in mind the debut, which made a great impact. But an album, like this, is something where you have to meet the fan expectations. And I'm sure Time and Pressure set a bar so high for you guys, which fans are still embracing it when you play. So this is pretty much evident on the new album. So was it
Absolutely,
at the back of your
absolutely.
mind while writing the album that there are people who have expectations from the band to release an album much better than Time and Pressure?
Absolutely. The people that Razor and Tie, which is the label that we signed with
Hmm.
late last year, um, they felt like we were on a good track to make a really really good record, and so we went in to make this record, and yes, there were giant expectations because we didn't want to let anybody down. This was
Right.
our this was our first record with a Razor and Tie, but like you said before, it's our sophomore record. So, we I wouldn't say that we had our entire lives to write our first one, because it's definitely not our first record. But
Yeah.
this record, though, we wrote all the way through touring. We wrote all the way while we were in the studio. We were just constantly coming up with new material. And at one point, we finished the record before we were scheduled to, so we had some extra time in the studio.
Hmm.
So we went on a short run, and we came back home, and we decided that we would use the rest of our recording budget to go in and do more songs, because I mean, other than just spending a little bit of money, what's the worst that could happen? So Joey and I wrote a couple songs when we got home.
Hmm.
A song called S.O.A.R and a song called The Bottom.
Right.
And they completely changed the tone of the record, and we found our album track. We had a whole different idea of what the record was going to be until we wrote these two songs, and when we finished them, we realized we were like, how mature and how grown up our record had become just with the addition of these two songs. So we changed the name to, actually didn't have any kind of album title at the time, but we just knew that S.O.A.R was like the embodiment of the record, and the message that can be connected almost in every song on there. And so we knew that we had met those expectations by coming up with those two songs. Everybody we showed it to loved it, and we were really excited about it. We couldn't wait to play it live. And we went and we tracked it. We went back to New York, or to Long Island, and went in the studio and knocked out two songs in a day. And it was so much fun, and it was one of the most exciting times for us, realizing that we had made a record, and we did. Everybody was pleased with it. The record was coming out. Everybody's happy. The label's happy, which is really good. But we went and we wrote two more songs for it. It was like we had exceeded our own expectations in that
Wonderful.
in that sense, and we were very, very, very proud of this body of work that we put together.
Absolutely, man.
We still are.
And like you said, that you guys took some time and then went on road and came back and did the stuff again. But at certain point of time, when the material, let's say, was already recorded, and you came back from tour, was there a moment where you guys felt like you rethought about certain parts, maybe try to do it in a different way, or once it was done, you guys didn't touch it?
Yeah, when we afforded ourselves some time to sit back and listen to each song by going on the road, and in that time, it's kind of a peculiar thing, because we've got all these new songs, but we don't want to release them yet, so we're not playing them live. So we're out there on the road. We're playing songs from the first record, but we're like dying to play these new songs because we love them so much and we're so excited about them. But in that process, we kind of saw what the band, who we were, 3-4 years ago when we wrote the first record, or 2 years ago, whatever it was, and we realized that like the growth of the band was important to us. So we looked at the songs that we had recorded at that point, and we realized that we wanted to make some changes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We saw some opportunities to continue to simplify the band, and to not overthink things, which is a constant problem of mine. And and so we made a better record, I think, because we didn't just go in to knock out a record in a couple weeks. We stretched it out and took some breaks and got some fresh air and came back in and tackled some obstacles, fresh, which was great.
Awesome, man. That's good to hear. And the album has it's like I said, it's got a live feeling and an organic feeling where it felt like the instruments were connected and the songs were recorded, which is a great thing, because having an organic kind of a feeling makes it even more interesting for fans. So even a song like The Bottom, like you said, is my favorite. I'm surprised that was the last one written on this album. So, a song like even Fake It or Make It, each of these tracks have a different flavor, which probably is due to maybe writing it over the period of time, or the specific personal influences, which I feel that this album is more personal to you guys than the previous one.
Absolutely. I mean, there were definitely some pinnacle personal moments on the first one, but this album, though, as a whole, has a much more focused. Um, I would say that the artistic. Yes, the first record was very personal to us because we had a pretty nasty breakup with our band,
Right.
and Joey had a divorce, and it was weighing on him in a lot, and so he had a lot to write about, and I was going through something similar, but not nearly as influential.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came to the second record, we didn't necessarily have those exact. We weren't going through those same things.
Right.
But there was a lot of there were a lot of conflicts between Joey and I as friends and as writers. It's really difficult, not only to be in business with your best friend,
Yeah.
but to also have a creative business with your best friend, because I think there are times when we know each other so well that we make assumptions and we have reservations and resentments, and it can affect the progress of what we're working on.
That's true, because you got 15 years. You
There
guys
are some
have been
moments.
together. You guys are the backbone of this band together. So I'm sure the differences were there, but then again, the final product is something which both of you are proud of, and I'm sure fans are gonna love it as well.
Right. It always comes down to a question of I could just do this myself.
Yeah.
I could just do all this on my own. I don't need anybody else. And that. Of course, Joey and I could go make music independently, and I know that it would be great. But there's something special about the music that we create together, and
Right.
and just about every time that we tackle something as large as putting an entire album together, there are moments where we lose sight of the goal, we lose sight of our path,
Mm-hmm.
and we separate almost in that sense. But on this record, you can hear a couple of those moments where we had to find our way back to the place where we're making really good art together, and we wrote about that, and we wrote about a couple of other things that. Well, I guess the best way I could say is that this is the first time a song like "Lightning in the Sky" that we've written anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very beautiful way of describing a person or something in your life that comes to you and is gone almost immediately, and as soon as they get there, they're gone, and it changes you forever. And,
Absolutely.
It for the good or for the worse. For the good or for the bad, it's still just a moment, and this song is an appreciation of that time that you got to spend with such a thing.
Awesome, man. That's wonderful to hear, and your vocals are, damn good. I mean, it's something. I was actually singing along while listening to the album, and every time I, repeated the album, the complete cycle, it made me feel that there's a lot of, you've tried a lot on this album. I'm sure you wanted to make sure that the things which you felt were lacking in the first one are right now overcome on the new album.
Right. I mean, hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah.
So when we finished the first record, I was just excited to have something, and glad that like the first time that I had recorded any vocals that I was able to complete it. I've made a couple records before where we've gone in and tried to making a record with a guy that, this was his freshman record as a singer, and it just didn't work. So I was just happy to get the record completed, and I think that, as I said earlier, I have a tendency to over analyze things, and of course, when the record was finished, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't want to do anything like that, and so there were things that I approached differently on this record, and I think that there's I think the biggest thing is knowing what my limitations are, and not overwriting what I can do, and this record has more of a sensitivity to my natural range, and I think that we'll continue to write in that direction.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot for having a chat.
Likewise, thank you.
Take care.
Nice to meet you.
Same here. Bye bye.